The weather can change in an instant. One moment, the sky is clear and blue, and the next, dark clouds begin to gather on the horizon. One day is sunny, the next brings storms. It's a reminder of nature's unpredictability and power. This week is no different. The forecast shows a significant change in weather patterns, with storm symbols marking the days ahead. A powerful storm is brewing in the Pacific Ocean. Satellite images reveal a massive system swirling with energy, gathering strength as it moves. It's heading straight for the Pacific Northwest. The path is clear, and the region is bracing for impact. The storm is expected to be big. Weather radar images show intense activity, with large storm clouds forming and moving rapidly. It could be dangerous too. The combination of heavy rainfall and strong winds poses a significant threat to the area. People are preparing for heavy rain and strong winds. They're boarding up windows, securing outdoor furniture, and taking other precautions to protect their homes and families. The storm is bringing a lot of moisture with it. Dark clouds are heavy with rain, ready to release their burden over the land. This means there is a high risk of flooding. Streets could quickly become rivers, making travel difficult and dangerous. Rivers and streams could overflow. The water levels are already high, and the additional rain could push them past their limits. The ground is already saturated from previous storms. This means it won't take much for the water to start pooling and flooding low-lying areas. This makes flooding even more likely. Roads could become submerged, cutting off access and isolating communities. Coastal areas are also at risk from high waves and storm surge. The ocean's fury can be just as dangerous as the rain and wind. People in the Northwest are used to rain. It's a part of daily life, and they know how to handle it. But this storm is different. The intensity and scale are beyond the usual, making it a cause for concern. The amount of rain expected is unusual. Rain gauges are already showing high levels, and the storm hasn't even fully arrived yet. The wind is also a concern. Strong gusts can bend trees and send debris flying, creating hazardous conditions. Strong winds can knock down trees and power lines. This can lead to widespread damage and power outages. This could cause widespread power outages. Utility workers are on standby, ready to respond, but the scale of the storm could overwhelm efforts. People are being advised to stay indoors during the storm. It's the safest place to be, away from the dangers of the storm's wrath. Families are huddling together, watching the storm from the safety of their homes, hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. 5 states are in the path of this storm, which is expected to bring a mix of severe weather conditions. They are Washington, Oregon, California, Montana, and Idaho. Each of these states is preparing for the impact in different ways. These states cover a large area with diverse landscapes ranging from coastal regions to mountainous terrains. Each state has its own unique geography, which will influence how the storm affects them. This means the storm will affect each state differently, bringing a variety of challenges to local communities. Washington and Oregon are expected to see the worst of the storm, with predictions of heavy rain and strong winds. These states are closest to the coast, making them more susceptible to the storm's initial impact. They will bear the brunt of the wind and rain, which could lead to significant damage in coastal areas. Coastal communities are particularly vulnerable, with the potential for flooding and power outages. California will also see heavy rain, especially in the northern part of the state, where the storm's reach will be felt. The Sierra Nevada mountains could see heavy snow, adding to the already significant snowpack. Montana and Idaho are further inland, and while they won't see the same intensity of rain, they are not out of danger. They are expected to see less rain than the coastal states, but even moderate rainfall can have serious consequences. However, even a small amount of rain can cause problems in these states, particularly where there is existing snow. Many areas have already seen significant snowfall this winter, creating a precarious situation. The rain could melt the snowpack quickly, leading to rapid runoff. This could lead to flooding, especially in mountainous regions where rivers and streams could overflow. Emergency services are on high alert, preparing for potential evacuations and deploying resources to the most vulnerable areas. Residents are being advised to stock up on essential supplies, secure their homes, and stay informed through local news updates. Local news stations are providing continuous updates, ensuring that everyone stays informed about the storm's progress and any changes in its path. Community shelters are being set up to provide safe havens for those who may need to evacuate their homes. Emergency vehicles and rescue teams are on standby, ready to respond to any incidents that may arise during the storm. In times like these, the strength and resilience of the community shine through as people come together to support one another. As the storm approaches, the northwestern United States braces for impact, with everyone hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. Once the storm passes, the focus will shift to recovery and rebuilding, with communities working together to restore normalcy. The resilience and unity of the people will be crucial in overcoming the challenges posed by this storm, ensuring a hopeful future for the Northwest. Heavy rain is the biggest concern with this storm. The sheer volume of water falling from the sky can be overwhelming. When the rain starts, it often feels like the heavens have opened up, unleashing a relentless torrent. Too much rain falling too quickly can be dangerous. The ground can only absorb so much water before it becomes saturated. When this happens, the excess water has nowhere to go but to flood the streets and low-lying areas. It can overwhelm drainage systems. These systems are designed to handle a certain amount of water, but when the rain is too intense, they simply can't keep up. Water starts to back up, leading to overflow and flooding. This leads to flooding in streets and homes. Entire neighborhoods can be submerged, turning familiar streets into rivers. Homes that were once safe and dry become vulnerable to the encroaching water. Flooding can damage property and belongings. Water can seep into homes, ruining furniture, electronics, and personal items. The cost of repairs and replacements can be staggering. It can also be dangerous, even deadly. People may find themselves trapped in their homes, needing rescue. Emergency responders work tirelessly to save lives, but the conditions are treacherous. Strong winds are another concern. These winds can reach speeds that make it difficult to stand or walk. They howl through the trees and around buildings, creating an eerie, unsettling sound. Winds can knock down trees, power lines, and even buildings. The force of the wind can snap tree trunks and send branches flying. Power lines can be brought down, cutting off electricity to entire areas. This can cause injuries and block roads. Fallen trees and debris can make roads impassable, hindering emergency response efforts. People may be injured by flying debris or falling objects. Winds can also whip up waves on the coast. The ocean becomes a churning, frothy mass, with waves crashing violently onto the shore. Coastal areas are particularly vulnerable to this kind of storm surge. These waves can cause erosion and damage coastal structures. Seawalls, piers, and other coastal defenses can be battered and broken. The land itself can be worn away, changing the shape of the coastline. Heavy rain and strong winds can also lead to power outages. When power lines are downed, entire neighborhoods can be plunged into darkness. Repair crews work around the clock to restore electricity, but it can take time. Power outages can disrupt daily life. Without electricity, homes are without light, refrigeration, and heating. Families may have to rely on candles for light and find alternative ways to keep food from spoiling. They can make it difficult to cook, heat homes, or even charge phones. People may have to use gas stoves or portable chargers to get by. The lack of power can make even simple tasks challenging. Power outages can also be dangerous, especially for people who rely on medical equipment. Those who need oxygen tanks, dialysis machines, or other life-sustaining devices are at risk. Hospitals and care facilities must have backup generators to ensure patient safety. This storm is being fueled by what meteorologists call an atmospheric river. An atmospheric river is a narrow band of concentrated moisture in the atmosphere. It's like a river of water vapor flowing through the sky. These rivers can transport huge amounts of water. Atmospheric rivers are a normal part of the global weather pattern. They are responsible for much of the rain and snow that falls on the west coast of the United States. However, climate change is making atmospheric rivers more intense and frequent. This means we can expect to see more storms like this one in the future. Section 5. Heeding the warnings. The National Weather Service is closely monitoring this storm. They have issued numerous watches and warnings. A watch means that conditions are favorable for severe weather. A warning means that severe weather is imminent. It's important to take these warnings seriously. When the National Weather Service issues a warning, it's time to take action. This might mean staying indoors, charging electronic devices, or preparing a go bag in case of evacuation. It's important to stay informed and follow the advice of local authorities. Section 6. Echoes of a recent past. This storm comes just a week after another powerful storm hit the Pacific Northwest. That storm also brought heavy rain and strong winds. It caused flooding and power outages across the region. The ground is already saturated from that storm. This makes the current storm even more dangerous. The previous storm caused significant damage. Roads were closed, schools were canceled, and thousands of people were without power. The current storm is expected to be even stronger. Officials are concerned that it could cause more damage and disruption. Section 7. Sunshine and Snowbirds. While the Pacific Northwest is bracing for another round of severe weather, other parts of the United States are enjoying unseasonably warm temperatures. The Southeast and Southwest are experiencing a heat wave. Temperatures are reaching record highs. This stark contrast in weather patterns is a reminder of the vastness and complexity of our planet's climate system. While one region is battered by storms, another basks in sunshine. It's a reminder that weather is a global phenomenon. What happens in one part of the world can affect weather patterns thousands of miles away. Section 8. A World of Extremes. The recent storms in the Pacific Northwest, coupled with the heat waves in other parts of the country, highlight the increasing frequency of extreme weather events. Climate change is making our weather more unpredictable and severe. We can expect to see more floods, droughts, heat waves, and other extreme weather events in the years to come. These extreme weather events have real consequences. They damage property, disrupt lives, and threaten human health and safety. It's more important than ever to address climate change and mitigate its effects. Section 9. The Unending Cycle. Weather is a cycle, a constant dance between air, water, and sunlight. Storms come and go, the sun rises and sets, but the patterns are changing, the rhythm is off. As we move further into the 21st century, we must learn to adapt to a world of increasingly unpredictable weather. This means being prepared for the unexpected. It means investing in infrastructure that can withstand extreme weather events. And it means taking action to address climate change, the underlying cause of these increasingly frequent and severe